Okay guys, I wanted to do a video of cleaning some relics, or I don't know if you want to call these relics, but stuff you might find that's iron, like this sign here, which I can't read yet. And this is, I don't know, this is plated on the front, but kind of iron on the back. I'm not sure how that's going to get cleaned, but for this one, we'll definitely use the, first we're going to use the hot vinegar. This is safer than electrolysis. Pretty much the same kind of results. You can actually go from hot vinegar and to electrolysis if to try on the same item. After, but we're going to give this a whirl with the hot vinegar. And this one, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the hot vinegar or some citric or what, but let's get this started. Okay, so you want to first start off by rinsing the dirt off, scrubbing the dirt off if you have to, because no soap, just water. Cold water is fine, because the less elements that are on here, the better to begin with. Then you want to, I'm just using this for now, a scraper, but either that or a flat screwdriver or a pair of pliers, and try to get all these little chunks off that you can, without ruining the metal that you're trying to save. Obviously, try to get some of the heavy stuff off to begin with. Now, typically, I get vinegar from the dollar store. It's like $1. I don't know if it's not quite a quart, but, or a gallon. It's not quite a gallon, but it's like $1 a quart or whatever it is. This is stuff I have here, regular white vinegar from Market Basket. This stuff's more expensive. I wouldn't recommend this, but it is. I wanted to show you the apple cider vinegar. This one's the unfiltered kind that's good to drink or eat. They both are actually, but the apple cider vinegar is a little more aggressive, so. But I would just stick with the regular white vinegar unless you can find it cheap. Regular apple cider vinegar. It doesn't have to be organic or unfiltered. But just to show you what I will use. Okay, I use this cup for the microwave. I filled it with the white vinegar over here, and I will put it in the microwave. Not really, you gotta kind of guess on the time. I'll start off with 2 or 3 minutes, see what I get. Okay guys, so I boiled this for 3 or 4 minutes. 3 minutes is probably fine, but I waited too long. I had to throw it in there for another minute. So that's boiling hot white vinegar in this cup. Here is our piece, our sign, or whatever relic we want to find. I also have a trigger guard I want to try with the vinegar. You want to dump that in, and I'm gonna have to get more vinegar ready. But you can see, I don't know how well you can see with the glare, but it's in there, and it'll start boiling and bubbling, eating the rust up. I should just steam the camera up. It's all steaming. We'll get back to you. Alright, Let me try a smaller container for this trigger guard. It's not too bad. It's got some stuff on it, pitting. I'm assuming it's iron. This is the vinegar works, you know, for the iron relics, such as axe heads, anything iron. It'll clean up really good. I got my boiling container of vinegar. Whew. You don't want to breathe this stuff. I'm going to put a tiny bit more in there, but we're just going to let that soak. And we'll see what the how it looks after a while. I usually go at least 12 hours, depending on the size of the item. An axe head might be longer. Might have to change it over and do it again. This will probably be shorter because this one is small and thin. Okay guys, Untitled Digger. I picked away at this. It's still got globs of stuff on it. This stuff. I'm gonna have to just put it in the vinegar. I don't have time to do any more picking on it. So we'll start off with the hot vinegar here. Boiling hot. You can see the steam coming off it. And I'll put some more on it and put it away for soaking. Okay, so I boiled some more vinegar. I'm going to dump that in. Again, I did it for 4 minutes. Ooh, the steam comes right off that. I don't know how well you could see this or not, but it will bubble and eat away. You can already see the stuff start coming off. And I'll flip it several times and check it out. We'll let it set. I'll make another batch for the trigger guard in another bucket. Yeah, you can see how nasty that gets from sitting for a couple days. All that rust is coming off. Well, definitely got to add more to this. The vinegar evaporates after a day or two. Starts evaporating. You got to add more. We'll give this a good brush off. Cold water's fine. Just look how much has come off there. This might look pretty sweet. But you can see you start brushing it. I'm just doing this because I can't hold the camera too, but stuff just starts coming off. Alright guys, we're going to take this out and look to see if we can brush some of that off, what's left on it. Hey, Untitled Digger back. Look at that rust. Look at that rust in the bucket. Boy, I hope it's getting close. It's kind of upside down. But we'll get it into the sink and see what we can do with getting that off. I'll show you what I do first. turn on some water. First I'll just wash this, rinse it off, and get any residual off. You should see how it's starting to come right off, but it leaves black. You'll get your hands dirty. Jesus. Actually, I'm going to grab the older toothbrush. You just run. Let's start with a soft brush. See how much stuff comes off or not. It's hard to see, but quite a bit comes right off. Let's take off some of this. And just going to use a little stiffer brush to help it along. If you had a real stiff nylon brush, that would be okay. To see how the stuff, you can read, it says, I think it says Cable and Sons. I'm not sure what that is yet, but you still got some chunky stuff here I gotta chip off. Let's see here, a little bit of this. So you're getting down to the iron, and work on this a little more and see what we got. I might have to soak it a little more. Hey guys, Monchar Digger. I'm soaking this some more. It's almost done. Look at that. Cable and Sons. I just need to pick some of this stuff off and bring it over here. You use cool water, it doesn't have to be hot. You still have to sometimes, pick the thicker stuff off if it gets these accumulations. I like using an old jackknife to kind of pick at this stuff. And it should come right off. See how it flings right off? In the end, you'll have a nice cleaned item. A relic. Okay, we'll get back to you in a minute. Pretty much want to get some brushes, toothbrush, bristle brush. This one's just part left over of a little copper brush, but I mean a brass brush, not copper brush. You want to get these, let me show you what I mean. It's going to brush off. Probably be hard to see. We're just gonna kind of go over it, and the stuff's gonna wash off. It's nasty, so I mean, the stuff gets on your hands, it makes a mess. Just kind of give it a good brush. I'm going to add vinegar. This was just kind of seeing where it's at. It takes a while for some items, this size. Just want to get the heavy rust off. It kind of washes off. This guy might be close because it's small. So you can see, or maybe you can't, I don't know how well you can see. See how it's just all rust water. All that rust is trying to come off of the stuff. It just needs a little help, a little brushing. Okay guys, I'm back. Got this cleaned up pretty good. Cable and Sons. I gotta research it still. Some kind of a sign or off a big machine or a piece of machinery. As you can see, I just had to take a knife and whittle all the little clumps off the letters and wherever rust gets really coagulated thick. But it pops right off after, you know, the vinegar treatment. And now I'm gonna do the baking soda. You gotta neutralize that because that's been sitting in vinegar for quite a while. You know, all week plus. So it's got a lot of acid in the vinegar, or well, 5% acid, but we don't want it to keep eating away. So I put some make a baking soda neutralizer mixed with water, and we're going to soak that for a while. So that we make sure that it neutralizes that acid from eating anymore. And then we'll find either wax or oil to preserve it afterwards. Put that baby in there. And it's going to soak for a while. Probably all day. I'll just soak it in there just to be sure. Later. Hey guys, Monchar Digger. Hey, this has been sitting for quite a while on this. You don't need to let it sit all day in it. This is the baking powder or baking soda, baking powder to neutralize this bad boy. So just rinse this off.
Don't even get me over here.
And scrub it down a little bit. It's pretty much rust free. Couple little spots there I'm going to scrub a little bit more on, but you can really see the nickel silver looking part of it. Once I clean this up, dry it off, let it dry out, and then I'll treat it with some wax, and I'll show you the finished product. Hey, Monchar Digger here. Looks like we have one item that I just brushed off under the water. It came out pretty sweet. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is the trigger guard that was in the vinegar. And you can see it's down to the, I don't know if it's, what kind of metal this is. I thought it was iron, but I think it might have some nickel in it. But it came out sweet. I brushed it off with a stiff brush and a soft brush, trying to get all the nooks and crannies. You can see the pitting. It's pretty awesome. Now we got to do the neutralizing. Should just take some of this Arm & Hammer baking soda. And mix it with water so you can because vinegar is about 5% acid. So So you have to neutralize it or it'll continue over time to eat away at the metal. So just take this, just put some cool water in it. This is a small item, so it's easy to work with. Even the smaller items, the smaller toe taps, heel plates, any kind of iron artifacts, the smaller, the easier they are to work with. You could actually put them in a, heat it up in a coffee cup and put it right in there. Takes less time. So just mix that up and put that in. I'll let that sit today because I gotta go to work. And we'll get back to it and then we'll polish it up with some nice wax. Okay, just a light brushing. Came out magnificent though, I think. A little bit on the end there still, but okay, we're gonna put some this is my favorite stuff to use, this Renaissance wax. Very expensive, but I don't know what this is. Probably 20 bucks, 25 bucks for this little tiny container, but it lasts a long time for small stuff. Coins, whatever you want to put it on. Okay guys, Muncher Digger here. Finally got this, most of this stuff picked off, a little bit on there still. Have no idea what this is still. There was a little hook there that kind of broke off from the picking. Anybody knows, let me know what this is. I can't figure out if it's just a huge gas cap thing or what. I don't even know what the design is. But we gotta get the baking soda and cold water. Whoops. It's everywhere all over the kitchen. Wife's gonna be real happy about that. Get this all mixed up for the neutralizer. This thing's been in the vinegar for quite a while, so I'll let that soak. Hey guys, we're finally done with this. I kind of gave up. There's a couple more pieces of rust on there, but I'm at a stopping point with this. This was a lot of work. But you can see how much better that is than what we began with. I don't know what this is, but let me just set this down here. I just put some WD-40 on it for now. Neutralized it from the vinegar. Picked off as much as I'm going to do right now. Just wanted to show you guys how well the stuff works. Hey guys, this is basically done. Came out pretty great, I think. Starting to, sometimes you get some residual rust start growing on it. I'd let it dry out. Let me just give it a light. And I put some wax on it. And it's just so much better than it was. It's a whole different relic now. Not covered in rust. It's got some character. I like it. Muncher Digger here. I took the took this out of the baking soda water mixture for neutralizing the acid. Look at that baby. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna put some wax or something on it, but once it dries out completely. But just check out how well that came out. Now I did had to pick, like I said, I had to pick at it a lot with a knife and brush it a bit, and probably over a week of soaking. But as you can see, the results. The only thing we used was a little bit of elbow grease and a couple dollars worth of vinegar. No electricity. Completely safe. And that's the result. There you have it, guys. The finished products.